What's up? Candy Girl here with my 2 cents on the shit show that we are calling America. I don't even know how to entitle this. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I try to stay away from politics, but it goes from politics to just common sense, decency, diplomacy. You know, it's more than just politics. It's how the United States is being represented in the media. And I feel like my 2 cents is going to help other countries who watch my videos know that this is really not American values at play. And by popular vote, Trump got way too many votes for my comfort. So maybe depending on how his approval ratings are going down, what he's doing does not represent even 49% of the population, hopefully. But anyways, so let's get into what I am just so hot and bothered about. First of all, it started off with him saying that there was a special place in hell for the Prime Minister of Canada. Like, dog, like, talking mess about Canada is like talking mess about Big Bird. Like, Big Bird didn't do nothing to you. Big Bird is nice. Big Bird tries to spread love. Big Bird ain't trying to get in no beefs with nobody. He never has, he never will. That's like Canada. Like, who beefs with Canada? Really? Like, that makes no sense to me. And the thing is, you can disagree with something that Canada is doing, because in the end of the day, no matter what kind of like type of government any country has, we still live in a global capitalistic society. So they're in competition with us no matter how nice they are. So if we're doing some kind of trading with them and they're benefiting from that business relationship more than we are, I agree with Trump. Mark my words, I agree. Because in the end of the day, this is all a business. Even our American government and their relations with other countries, it's all a business. And if we are not looking at the revenue minus the operational cost equals profit, if we're not looking at that at every single business relationship that we build, it's going to be a real problem. Okay? So I agree with him in evaluating our relationships with other countries. How much are they profiting versus us, and where does that leave us on the bottom line? What I don't like is that you just starting up here burning bridges and you ain't even built a tunnel or nothing to really like help us compensate with this bridge that we just burned. I mean, my daddy told me, you know, rule number 1 with going into corporate America and starting to live on your own: do not subtract if you cannot add. And my opinion is that he is burning bridges without building an infrastructure for us to recover. So for example, if we're going to become more self-sufficient on steel and aluminum, independent of Canada and what they ever can bring in or whatever we export or whatever. So I think my understanding is that anything of steel and aluminum that comes into this country or something, they got to pay a lot of money for? Or is it that we are exporting steel and aluminum and we're not charging them enough? I don't know, but it's got something to do with steel and aluminum. And my thing is, if we're going to be cutting off our connection or our export of steel and aluminum, what cushion do we have? Did you build any kind of stimulus programs for manufacturers to make up for the deficit in supply or demand that now we would experience because we burned that bridge? What are you doing that can help us recover from any kind of repercussion from you burning bridges and building and destroying trading relationships? Y'all tell me in the comments, is it our exports or our imports on steel and aluminum that now we're about to be taxing out the ass? I don't know. Just let me know in the comments. Either way it goes, I don't see him building up any kind of programs to fill in the gap domestically. Okay, so that was the first thing that just was like, okay, what's going on here? Then within the same week, he gonna meet with motherfucking Kim Jong-un or whatever his name is from North Korea. Look, I will be the first to admit that I don't have a positive impression on North Korea. At first, it was based upon nothing but what people have told me I should believe about North Korea. I had never really looked into what exactly did North Korea do to us that now I can just say without any further research or inquiry that we don't like North Korea as a country. Something is wrong with North Korea. We don't like them. You know, that's a part of prejudice that I got to get over, where I just accept somebody else's word that we don't like this country. But it's like, but for what? You know, maybe I'm okay with that country. Maybe I want to move to that country now that I know that y'all are so much different than America. But alas, I found out the truth. We don't like North Korea, and I don't like North Korea. North Korea is one of those dictatorships that rules off of fear of being murdered and starved to death. You know, these people will execute your ass for the stupidest stuff that that threatens their dictatorship. So you can't surf the internet like that. You can't be writing stuff down like that. You can't be congregating with too many people. You can't really protest the government if they're doing something illegal or immoral or unethical, whatever. You can't petition the government like you can the United States. So there's a lot of things, a lot of executions in front of people's family members and starving them and not compensating them appropriately, and then not giving them the resources of just bare essentials of food, water, clothing, and shelter. Not giving that to people. So I don't like North Korea. It's established. And here goes Trump talking about he wishes that people would fall in line with him like they do Kim. I said, bitch, what? See, that's the kind of America that we will not be making great again, okay? He talking about, I wish people would just obey me like they do Kim. And how do you suggest that you're about to accomplish that, homie? Because you will not be starving my fat ass. You will not be executing my family. You know what I'm saying? Like, technically, we can really take your ass down then if you can start to try to change things like that. So we're cutting our ties with Big Bird, but we getting in bed with Hitler. It just bothers me. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just something inherently concerning about that I just cannot let go. So then I can't even say it. Did this motherfucker just say we need to have a space force? Trump, I want you to think about what you're saying before you get on TV and you suggest anything. First of all, how would we carve out the territories in space like we do any other country on the planet? You know, the universe is infinite, allegedly. That's what we know, okay? Now, at one point, we thought that the Earth was flat, so we could be proven wrong at any point in time. But for right now, all I know is that the space just keeps going on and on and on, vertically and horizontally. So how do we set the limits? And who owns what? And who determines who's going to get it? And then you're going to put a military... So you're going to get a militia of people to stay in space and guard the space that we have in outer space. Like, where are these people going to be living? How do you fund this expensive program to be keeping people fully sustained in outer space for years to come? How do you train these people to live in outer space? We can't even send like astronauts into outer space every couple of days. Why would we think that now we have the money to then send people into outer space indefinitely so that we can wage wars in outer space. If we were to throw a bullet, where would the bitch land? If I was to aim a bullet and I was to shoot it forward, that bitch would be just like wandering off. You know what I'm saying? He said a space force, like, or what was it? A space corps, like the Marine Corps. I bet you him and Kim are going in together on this stuff. I also slightly feel like Obama is cutting ties with China. That's another thing. They putting all these tariffs and taxes on China, right? You know everything is made in China up in this bitch. Don't you know? Even the African attire that I have at home is made in China. That's how much China really be like doing it out here. And you gonna tell me that you gonna put all these tariffs on China? This is what I'm saying. Don't subtract if you can't add, because that's a whole lot to subtract. You know what I'm saying? So this man, I think that him and Kim are coming up with some major plans, and I think that we should stay woke on what's going on with that. He's trying to burn bridges, stop military exercises with other countries, pull out military presence in these countries as a condition of North Korea denuclearizing their country. How do we even know that they're going to do that? I don't know. But now I'm thinking they're burning bridges with other countries, and they're going to form alliances with North Korea, and North Korea be killing people out here. So I don't know, like, is President Trump gonna take the nuclear weapons and start bombing our asses because we not doing what he want us to do? He finna make America great again like that? No thank you. No thank you. Impeach that motherfucker. I'll take Pence and we'll just take my chances. Hopefully we will make an example out of Trump. Pence will be on his best behavior. He won't try nothing crazy. Let's see. Because at this point, I'm all right with impeaching Trump. At first, I was like, I ain't finna do that because we don't want Pence, and he's even worse. But, you know, I'm just thinking, what could possibly be worse than this? The Space Force? Really, though? Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, except for how big of a monkey I am, as well as my hair. If I'm ugly, I don't care about those things. I am happy with myself. And I bet you another thing, somebody else like it too. So before you comment on that bullshit, just realize it'll probably never see the light of day. And number two, I don't want to hear it. All the rest of y'all, though, show me some love. Until next time, you all, love and blessings.